I worked in a large office with multiple departments. Each department could choose whether they wanted to have flexi time or not. I had been working these hours for the better part of 4 years and no one had a problem with it. Until I changed departments. Despite there always being cover up until 6 p.m. most days, office was open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. My coworkers had a problem with me being the only one leaving A4. They complained constantly to the department manager.
Just seen a post whereby someone was getting annoyed that a coworker kept leaving early, even though it didn't affect them. Made me think of what happened to me some time ago. Worked in a large office with multiple departments. Each department could choose whether they wanted to have flexi time or not. Most chose to have this option. The core hours were 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., so everyone needed to be in the office during this time. The phone lines were open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So long as there was phone cover the hour before and the hour after core time, no one minded how people managed their flexi. Living the furthest away, I chose, after making sure it was okay, to come in at 8 a.m. every day and leave at 4 p.m. so that I could avoid the worst of rush hour traffic. I had been working these hours for the better part of 4 years and no one had a problem with it. Until I changed departments. Despite there always being cover up until 6 p.m. most days, office was open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. My coworkers had a problem with me being the only one leaving A4. They complained constantly to the department manager. He gave them the option of leaving early if they wanted. Setting up a rota of people leaving early, basically any workable solution that was feasibly possible. Nope, nothing was acceptable. None of my coworkers wanted to leave early, unless there was an emergency, DRS appointment etc. So if they chose to stay until 5 p.m., then I should also fit in with the team and do the same. Exhausted, my manager spoke to me and said he'd tried everything but they just wouldn't back down. I asked if I could move to another department that didn't mind me leaving at 4, but he gave me a piece of information which made me smile and I decided to stay. I asked if he wouldn't mind batting them off for the next couple of weeks because I had a plan. Team meeting was held after a couple of weeks to discuss working hours and I sat back and allowed my coworkers to get themselves worked up. I decided to throw in a few comments here and there to rile them up some more, and when I thought it was the right moment, I held my hands up and conceded defeat. I asked the team if they prefer I work 9 to 5. They all agreed. Giving a quick look to my manager, I repeated that we should all work the same hours, considering their argument was that I was the only one leaving early. Unanimous agreement, so I suggested that we should all, as a team, work 9 to 5. Enthusiastic nodding. Starting from tomorrow. Silence. My manager spoke up saying that was a wonderful idea and was a brilliant solution. He'd put it in place immediately, so that we could all come off flexi time and as a department, all work the same hours, which is what the team wanted in the first place. Now is a good time to mention that there was a worldwide sporting event taking place at the time. Living in the UK but not being British, I didn't feel the need to follow the UK teams. The event was being held abroad, so due to time differences, some of the games were played in the morning, UK time, meaning that my coworkers could watch the games and still be in at work by 10 a.m. I piped up to remind my team that this meant I would no longer be the only one covering the phones from 9 to 10 and yes, they conveniently forgot that they left me to answer the phones for that hour pretty much every day since me starting on the team. What a relief, because the phones did get busy first thing in the morning. One colleague tried to speak up but my manager reminded them that this is what they've been asking for all along, that the whole team worked the same hours. Oh yes, this was also the time to mention that seeing as I couldn't leave early anymore, there was no need to work through my lunch break. Something I offered to placate them, and I didn't used to have lunch that often back then. Flexi meant that people had the choice to take 2 hours for lunch and I'd offered to cover the phones when the games were on. So I'd stop doing that, otherwise I'd be worn out working flat out until 5. That meant that the quarter and semi-finals they had planned to watch, which so happened to be played over UK lunchtime and our office were showing on the large screen in the main conference room, would only have a restricted viewing time of 1 hour now. I announced that I could see I was being selfish for being the only one to leave early and I was pleased to fit in with everyone else by working 9 to 5. That also meant that I wouldn't be signing off the payments from the previous day, something I would do between 8 to 9 when it was nice and quiet. Albeit that I chose not to remind them of that, but I did like seeing the look on their faces when they realized they had extra work to do the following morning. Work that they should have been doing in the first instance. Again, something I volunteered to do to try to placate them. Oh, and that information that my manager gave me in our meeting 2 weeks prior? In a cost-cutting exercise, my office was relocating to another one which happened to be a lot closer to where I lived. So ultimately the removal of flexi-time worked in my favor as it meant I could then walk to and from work. Oh, it was difficult not to pull a smug face when the relocation was announced. I think the British term, "don't piss on your chips," definitely applied here.